In the lead-up to a WTO Ministerial Conference, each WTO member is asked to submit credentials. Credentials serve to certify that representatives of a member are authorized to perform the functions indicated in the WTO agreement on behalf of that member. The submission of credentials is a legal requirement under the rules of procedure of the Ministerial Conference. It authorizes member representatives to validly participate in actions taken by the Ministerial Conference, such as adopting decisions, including on any amendments to the WTO agreements or the accession of new members. I must emphasize that the submission of credentials is separate from the logistical process of e-registration for individuals attending the conference. My colleague will now outline how members can prepare and deposit valid credentials.
The requirements for valid credentials are: first, credentials must identify the authorized individuals by full name and title. Credentials may be issued for only one person, but it is recommended that credentials be issued for more than one in case of impediment, and to ensure that there is at least one person present authorized to represent the member at all times. The second point, credentials must clearly authorize the individuals to represent the member and perform the functions indicated in the WTO agreement at the Ministerial Conference in question. Credentials must specify the scheduled date and venue of the upcoming Ministerial Conference. It is recommended to add the word scheduled to the text because sometimes Ministerial Conferences can be extended. As a general rule, credentials must be issued and signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Under established practice, a WTO member's head of state, head of government, or in exceptional circumstances, highest-ranking official responsible for external trade matters, may also issue and sign credentials, including for themselves. Please contact the depository team with any questions as to whether the signatory that intends to sign credentials falls within these rules. Credentials must state the date and place of issuance, as well as the name and title of the signatory. Finally, credentials must be submitted no later than 1 week before the opening session of the Ministerial Conference. As the submission of credentials is a prerequisite for members participating in acts taken by the Ministerial Conference, badges to access the conference premises will be distributed to registered delegations of only those members that have submitted credentials. Credentials may be issued in any of the 3 WTO languages, English, French, or Spanish, or in any other language, provided that they are accompanied by an unofficial courtesy translation into one of the 3 WTO languages. Once a member's draft credentials have been reviewed by the depository team and signed by the member, they should be hand-delivered or sent by post to the depository assistant. The depository team must receive the original physically signed hard copy, as only this constitutes legally valid credentials. Unsigned or initialed credentials in the form of note verbale, even bearing the seal of a ministry, are not sufficient. Likewise, photocopies or electronic copies of credentials sent by email or fax are not considered valid. If you have any queries, please don't hesitate to reach out to the depository team. The depository team is also available to assist members with comments on their draft credentials before these are signed. We invite you to visit our dedicated credentials webpage for a template of credentials for any specific ministerial conference. Thank you for your attention and for your efforts towards providing us with valid credentials. We look forward to seeing you at the next ministerial conference.